The boys are so finished right now. We are unbelievably finished. I don't know if we could get more finished if we tried. Last night, what a game. What a fun game. It was frustrating at points. It was crazy at points. We saw maybe goal of the year. And Thomas Harley once again owns the Winnipeg Jets and Connor Hellebuyck. The Stars win their fifth in a row, 4-3 in overtime against the Winnipeg Jets. Dom was on the glass. Watch that Mikko Rantanen goal face first right into the glass. And I don't know if I've been more excited this season for a goal. Incredible game. Welcome to Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast. I'm your host, Stone Strankman, joined always by Dom Garcia. How are we doing, Mr. Finn?
You know, it's a great day here in Finland. The ice has melted in the streets. The weather is perfect, and our Finns are proving why they're some of the most talented players in the league. Absolute box office. Boy, did that win feel good. And this is the role that started with a sacrifice by the man to my right. And I don't know, we said it before, something crazy happens when I'm in there and it just continues. I can't change my wardrobe. It's just, it was so much fun last night.
Crazy game because first period was pretty fun. A lot of physicality being thrown around. Adam Ernie was fucking flying, throwing bodies as hard as he could. And it was pretty much every time he threw a hit was right in front of your face.
Yeah. I got a couple on my phone.
Adam Ernie was flying in the first period. If you didn't watch the game, I would go back and watch a replay if they have it on Victory Plus or ESPN Plus or whatever it is. Go watch the replay because Adam Ernie, he brings some juice to this team in a way that Colin Blackwell would last year or some other guys that are just kind of spark plugs, And Adam Ernie is the biggest and most and the heaviest, I guess, version of that. So when he throws a hit, I don't know what it sounded like down there, but up in the press box, it was like a thunderclap. I don't know what to do with that. It was incredibly fun. Adam Ernie was flying in the first period. That is a physical first period, 0-0, obviously, but you get the penalty at the end. You get to start on the power play at the end of or at the beginning of second period.
It was a very playoff-like feel in that Winnipeg was so worried about the physicality early that they had to play conservative hockey. And they kind of did that really the entire game. And it was just a chess match. But there was, I think, 6 hits. One of them from Oscar Beck, but 3 of them from Adam Ernie that were right in front of me. And it was a lightning strike that was hitting the glass. And, dude, did anybody see this out of Adam Ernie, in the preseason, in the first couple of games? No. It set the tone, man. And being down there, Stone's up in the press box, that was my second time being really close. But it was my first time on the glass. God, Maverick Borg and Adam Ernie are so fast in the defensive zone. They run up on you. And that physicality, man, we've been talking about it. We want to see these hits, and it's been successful. It's been working for this team.
Yeah, and in the first period, they had 14 hits. Again, Jesus. I think that's the second game in a row that they've had 14 hits in the first period. Obviously, they only finished with 24. They kind of let off in that second period. I think they only had 2 hits. And then late, middle of the third period, you're still at 18. I was they lost the physicality. And I think that's why things kind of went the way they did in the second period and into the third. But that first period was really fun. I enjoyed it. Obviously, no goals. You get to watch Helly make a few saves. You watch Otter make a few saves. Those are the 2 Team USA goalies, along with Swayman, which we watched in the Stadium Series the other night, which was an absolute electric fest with the goalie fight. 5-1 comeback from Tampa. Tampa smoking some cigars, looking like Tony Montana, walking out with John Cooper. But that was a really fun game. I can't wait for the Stadium Series next year. That just got me really in the mood. And obviously, we're a year away from it. But that was really fun. First period was really fun. You had a blast. Obviously, you're next to Glassbanger. And if you're a Stars fan, you know who Glassbanger is. So you're dealing with that. How was the experience with Glassbanger next, a few seats down from him? How was that experience? Was it as bad as it kind of looks from the press box area, or was it a lot better than you thought?
He doesn't talk much. I'll give him credit that he was locked in. But I think he tapes his wrist, and I found out really quick when that Mikko Rantanen goal happened. And if anybody's listening to this, go watch the replay. You can kind of see me in the background. I destroyed my hand, and I didn't mean to. My left hand is a little bit swollen right now, but it was because, I'm a rookie at this and Glassbanger's a veteran. But
More you know.
He like my expectation was it was going to be a little ruckus and I was going to be annoyed by what was going on around me. He was pretty quiet, he was pretty calm. But he just it was just a weird thing, like knowing everything about it and really the people behind me. Um that glass is pretty thick. You can hear the
Yeah.
players, but I don't think the players can hear us. So we'll get into it about Thomas Harley's play. I have a story from the game. Um, but yeah, it was, dude. I've never been that close to a sporting event ever, and I think it's expensive these days to go to sporting events, but you should try because it was incredible.
Yeah, it was a really fun game last night, and I was really happy that you were able to be there and in that capacity, being on the glass itself. Like, that's just not an experience that a lot of people get to have, and I was happy for you that you got to do it. I've never done that before. I get to go to games for free, though. I sit in the press box happily. I'll sit way up top. I'll see all the plays happening. I'm fine up there. But we get to the second period. Obviously, you start on the power play with a late call there. I think it was hooking on the Jets, and that top power play unit goes out there and it's pass, tipping goal. That's how I saw that. They just passed it back and forth. There's a little bit of a clinic, a little bit of a triangle going on. It was just back and forth between Miko, Robo, and Miro ended up getting in there a little bit. And then eventually Rope sends it back to Miko. Miko sends just an easy pass over to Robo. Robo found the space, got the right tip on it, goes far left side on Hellebuyck. You get the first goal of the season. Jason Robertson's 31st season of the season. Again, still not on the Olympic team. And I'm not going to let it go. Everyone just keeps saying, let it go. No, I won't.
There was people next to me being like, I think he might have a shot at his 200th goal. Like, the kid, and we were, as that power play was going on, my brother was like, man, if he kind of sags, like he does a good job being in front of net and then sags a little bit. And like we were like, bro, if he gets this opening, like we can beat Hellebuyck just off of speed, because Hellebuyck kind of wins with positioning and not athleticism. And it's exactly what happened here. And a Robo goal, it's always rocking AAC.
Yeah, it got really loud. It was right at the beginning of the second period as well, like less than a minute into it. That's his 31st of the season. It's 199th overall as a career.
Jeez.
In the regular season. So that's really cool. Unfortunately, that didn't last too long. The Jets kind of we got another ref getting in the fucking way.
Oh yeah.
Because that puck's going all the way down the ice. It's probably cleared. It's a cleared puck or it's an icing call. Like it's not going anywhere. Like Foxa has a beat on Adam Lowry. He sends it off, hits the ref. It goes right down to 91. I think Perfetti, and then it goes over Velarde. And it's just an easy 3-on-1 situation that if the ref had just jumped out of the way and not been on the boards directly or gotten his skates off the ground, that puck's all the way down to the other end. It's probably icing, if not just a cleared puck. And we're moving on. And it's still 1-0. But 1-1, 2.5 minutes later from Velarde.
It was super unfortunate because obviously everyone knows this is a Team USA goalie matchup. And we start hearing the Otters better chance. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's
you can't do that.
Great sign. Yeah, it's a little early for this. Like, there's only been 6 shots or 9 shots at this point. And it gets unfortunate because I think this goal, I couldn't really put blame on anybody because the defenders were kind of stuck in no man's land based off of the puck hitting the ref. And I can't blame Ottinger because I don't know how you play a 3-on-1 on that angle any better. It's just, credit to Winnipeg for taking that really, really quick shot, but it's kind of stumbled the momentum of the crowd for sure.
For sure. And Essa Lindell went to go pinch on that play to get the puck out of the scrum a little bit on the boards, and somehow Lowry and Foxa were right there. Lowry was able to get a stick on it first. It goes up. It probably is icing if the ref gets out of the way. He doesn't, and you only got one defender back. None of the forwards are back there because they're coming into – they're pinching. They're trying to go get the puck off the boards, and you only had one defender back. It was a bad play, but can't really blame them too much on that. It's an unfortunate play more so than a bad play. The next one, you're on the power play, obviously, or you're on the penalty kill. More of a bad play. Left him open in the slot. It was just an easy, wide open kind of. It's our Wyatt Johnson, our Jason Robertson in the slot on the power play. Like it's the same play that we run all the time that goes in every time. That's what happened for Perfetti. The problem is that the Jets are like 19th or 21st or something like that in power play percentage, and we're second. So when they're 1 for 3 on their power plays, that's 33.3%. That's I think 13 or so percent higher than what they normally do on the average for the season. So that was not a good one to give up. Obviously, you get the goal at the beginning of the second period, and you give up 2 quick ones before 4 minutes is even up in the second period. You're down 2-1.
Yeah, and the Perfetti shot from where we're sitting, like
right in your face.
Once before the pass is made, me and my brother look at each other like, this doesn't feel good. And then bam, it's already in the net. And we kind of got a taste of our own medicine there because we see that almost on a nightly basis with our power play.
Right.
But yeah, like Ottinger kind of after the goal, like being right behind him was just like, damn, like I got to buckle my chin strap. And it's not even that he was like in a bad spot, but like when the puck's moving that fast, there's very little a goaltender can do. And Winnipeg brought it on that power play.
Yeah. And then you go on a 5-on-3 there. I don't know, 7 minutes after that, pretty much. You got a minute 14 and 5-on-3, and you had some really good shots before the second penalty comes in. You have some pretty good shots after that, and you don't score a goal. There's a few cleared pucks, and you don't score a goal on either power play. That was the issue. It's like if you only scored one on a 5-on-3 and a 5-on-4, whatever, that's fine. You got the power play goal. We're back to tied. Be okay. You didn't get it. And then thankfully, we had a pretty good rush. And this play was pretty fun. They were about 15 minutes in. Sam Steele was coming up to the blue lines, passes it back to Nils Lundqvist, then passes it back to Sam Steele on the left wing. The thing about Lundqvist is that he darts through the middle. He does kind of a streak route through the middle of the two defenders and heading towards the net. What I've been saying on this podcast since the Stars kind of went on a bad spell for about a month, I was like, you got to get to the dirty areas and you got to create some chaos. That's exactly what Nils Lundqvist did. However, it's a defender, and you're like kind of weary of that because he's going into the play, and you got to have somebody to come back. Sam Steele sends that over to Jamie Benn on the right wing. Jamie just kind of touches it, leaves it for Matt Duchene, puts a really good shot on it, hits the right pad of Hellebuyck. It just kind of sits there for just a half second, and Nils Lundqvist is in the perfect position to tap it into a wide open net. So that's the case of having an offensive defenseman like Nils, like Miro, like Thomas Harley, where they can create chaos and go to the dirty areas for some of these forwards, especially with that third line, which is jumping right now. Matt Duchene, Jamie Benn, Sam Steele. It's jumping. It is vibing. It is a lot of fun. Great play by Nils to be there, but great shot, great setup by everyone kind of involved in that play.
Yeah, man. I don't remember the last Nils Lundqvist goal, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, but I noticed
third of the season. It's been a while, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. He skating backwards and in that play, like he's a very good skater that I did not realize. Like he can skate in a phone booth and he can skate 200 feet. And it was really good to see him have a very good game. Don't know what the stats say on it, but like I love the way he was playing last night, even without that goal.
Yeah, that was a really good, and it was a timely goal too, because it was pretty much right after the 5-on-3 power play. It's a minute or two after it ended, and there's a little bit deflation in the arena. There's a little just like, like there wasn't any juice at that point. And then you got the juice right back. It's 2-2 heading to the third period. Third period was pretty fun. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of shots, I think, on both ends. But it just felt like it. There was 9 shots apiece from both teams in the second and the third period, 8 shots apiece in the first period. So they had the same total of shots through regulation. But the third period, you're having a lot of fun. You're having some good times. It's just back and forth. There's no goals. There's no penalties, really. It's pretty scotch-free, obviously. And you don't score on the power play early in that period. But this is where magic happens. This is where amazing happens. Remember those NBA ads back in the day, those commercials? Yes. Those were great. Miro Heiskanen down in the bottom right corner, basically, of the rink in the defensive zone. He sends it, tries to just get it into the neutral zone. Gets tipped a little bit, so it slows down the puck speed and everything. Justin Ritzkovian's kind of there just past the red line, right before the blue line of the offensive zone. Taps it, just leaves it for Mikko Rantanen. And I'm in the press box, so you have a different viewpoint. I want you to explain your viewpoint after I explain mine. Up in the press box, everything's slow. in comparison to what it is where it's actually on the ice or up on the glass where you can see everything. It's very slow in comparison. So when I'm seeing this, I see Mikko Rantanen do this 5 times a game where he tries to deke out 5 guys, 5 defenders, and a goalie. He tries to do it every game, multiple times a game. And most of the time he gets 3/4 of the way through or 60% of the way through. Sometimes he doesn't even make it 10% of the way through the defenders. This time he gets through the first 2 defenders. I'm like, okay, that was a lot. It's because they're pinched. They're pinched. And I was like, he got through there. Then he's getting over towards Hellebuyck. And I'm like, okay, well, something's about to happen. And then there's 2 more defenders. And it was pure chaos. The deke left, the deke right, just swoop it around Connor Hellebuck's left pad. And it was just a magical moment to take the lead. It's 12 minutes left in the game. You get that goal and you're like, all right, boys, shut it down. Let's have some fun. That's the game-winning goal. Let's go home happy. It wasn't the case. But incredible highlight reel Mikko Rantanen goal. Everyone was tweeting it from Spit and Chickless to our Clean Sheet of Ice account on Twitter. That one got a lot of traction, like Robert Tiffin's tweeting it. Everyone is tweeting out the clip of Mikko Rantanen completely undressing every single defender for the Winnipeg Jets and Connor Hellebuyck, who was the MVP and the best goalie in the world last season. Incredible goal from Mikko Rantanen, and just does it. He just does it once a game, and I'm just like, I don't understand why. I can't believe I'm so blessed to have Mikko Rantanen on my favorite team.
It was at this moment that a Mikko Rantanen Finland jersey was purchased along with some more finished product. But I'll set the scene for you. I'm in seat 6. My brother's in seat 5 of row A.
Sure.
He's coming up on the far side of our seat. So Miro from way back on the ice sets one up perfectly for Ritzy. Ritzy just gives it up quick, just on and off. And I'm seeing it come across angle directly at me. And from the moment he enters the blue line to the moment he's in front of Hellebuyck might have been half of a second. Like, he's not skating, his feet are out, but he covered so much distance. It's like when like Wemby takes his 2 steps and is from like the 3-point line and he's near the goal. Like, that's what it feels like when Mikko's skating with the puck, how long he is. He boxed out each Jets defender with one leg on the left, one leg on the right, completely dekes through him, and then undresses Hellebuyck perfectly with my view sight right on that puck with enough room to get in it. I've seen a lot of cool stuff working in sports and just being a fan of sports. To be there and have that viewpoint, to see this, like, it's so fast when you're right there. And Hellebuyck was livid because he never gets out of position. And that first deke, like, it tricked me. Like, I thought Nico was going to go backhand, and I'm right behind the net. And he switches it back to forehand on the backhand and then sneaks it in. And it's my favorite Stars goal that I've seen this season. It might be like, it's number 1 in my, well, his hat trick against Colorado. Jesus, that was a moment. But just to be there in that moment, and the replay, like, like anyone can go back and watch it. You can see me like a 10-year-old child, just absolutely banging the glass. Like, it was unreal. And to do that against a Winnipeg team who played really good last night, they needed that win. They needed those 2 points, and we weathered that storm. And that's the reason why that guy's making $12 million. Like, he's unreal, and he does this every game. It feels like it's just unreal.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned how he was able to box out defenders with his legs. So obviously you're talking about how wide apart his legs are, and he's able to still skate at that time, and he's not sedentary, which is also crazy that he's still able to keep his feet moving at that width. I think that's something that I was my attention was brought to last season. I think it was a Rope Hens play. Craig Ludwig was talking about it on DLLS. Shout out to DLLS, great pod. If you don't subscribe to them, great pod. A lot more journalistic on their side, and you learn a lot more about hockey on them. But Craig pointed this out last year, and he was like, Rope Hens, when he's coming into the zone, he's flying through, and he gets through the defenders, and then all of a sudden his legs just go apart. That's all that is trying to keep sticks and people away from you. And he's just boxing people out. And the guys that are really big, 6'4" and taller, like Mikko, like Rope. Guys that have really fucking strong bases, like Mikko. Really like Mikko. Mikko has one of the strongest bases in the league. Dumper like nobody else's. Like, he can do squats for days. And when he does that kind of move where he can get through those first two defenders and he knows he's gotten through, kind of bouncing the puck through them, immediately the legs spread apart, creates a box around him where you can't get the stick in, you can't get a body in, and you can't throw him off him because he's one of the strongest guys in the league. It's like Leon Draisaitl does this too. It's really incredible when you can see a guy that fast, that skilled, and that smart, and that strong, all in one player. There's not a lot of guys like Mikko, and that goal was just, it was crazy, you know? Like, that was just a really fucking crazy goal. And I think I pushed my chair back like this, just completely threw it back in the press box because I can't celebrate up there. And I was just like, I don't even know what to do with this information right now. It's fucking nuts.
I've relived it about 400 times in my head from my point, but the view from like the press box, when you get to see like the parting of the seas and the puck right in front, dude, it was a very, very special goal.
And then obviously we don't get to have that as the game-winning goal, which gave us another moment.
Yeah,
which was good. Winnipeg goes empty net, 6-on-5. They controlled the puck, man. The Stars had no. I don't feel like they were out there for too long. It's just like Winnipeg just had the puck the whole time. They get the change, they get the face off then, and then they just controlled the puck again. We couldn't win a face off. We couldn't control the puck. 6-on-5, and you let in another goal. Otter was pissed, obviously, because he had to win. He had a highlight reel moment goal where you just go home, be happy, regulation points, and you're on a 5-game win streak at that point, and you just feel really good. But that one goes in, and it's not the end of the world because I'm like, all right, we got a point out of it. Like, at least we're not losing any points here. We're going to overtime, but still a little frustrating that you had just the moment, and now the moment's not the moment anymore.
Yeah, and I think there was a timeout. So we didn't actually get to watch the goalie get pulled. Like, there was a timeout, and so they start the face-off, and I was like, dude, we need to win this face-off. It's been really tough because Winnipeg's really good at face-offs.
Yep.
And they were circling it. That felt like when we were on 5-on-3, that's what that felt like. Just the opposite. Like the puck was flying. It was buzzing around the blue line. And I could tell, like, this does not bode well. There was a lot of baggage in front of net for Otter, and it was executed perfectly for Winnipeg.
Yeah, it was a tough one to give up. And then you go to overtime, you immediately win the face-off, and you control the puck almost the entirety of overtime. I thought that was absolutely massive. You had a good amount of time, the first minute or so, you're kind of spinning around. You're going back to the blue line, going back into the zone, going back into the blue line, back into the zone. Nothing really going. And then you almost lose the puck. Mikko sends it all the way down to Jake Ottinger on the other side. He's like, we're not losing this fucking puck. They ultimately did lose that puck. And Jake Ottinger made an incredible save. And was it on Mark Scheifele, who's also like, how is that guy not on Team Canada? That dude's unreal. One of the best centers in the game, not on Team Canada. Another snub. I'm going to talk about Jason Robertson. I'm going to talk about some other guys. If I'm Team Canada, I'm bringing Mark Scheifele. I don't know why you wouldn't. Great leader, great player, great scorer, all the things. But Mark Scheifele has a breakaway goal on Jake Ottinger. And just, it's right in front of you, right? Like, that's right in your viewpoint. I want to hear what you thought about it because it was an incredible save from Otter. It kept the Stars in it, obviously. And then the play turns right on its head the next play.
The puck gets bounced and it goes into the blue line. It goes past the blue line and it's looking like a goal. It's looking like the game winner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on an angle. Jake scoots up really far, probably farther than he usually does.
He does
that. I'm like, boy, like this is a Hail Mary type of save. If he's going to make it, squats down, gets ready. He doesn't react till after the shot, and he is so fast. Like, I did not notice this until I was behind the goal. He's so fast, and that foot comes right in time, kicks it out. He stood up, and he kind of like nodded his head, like, we're winning this game after it happened. But, oh, my gosh, my heart stopped. I can still see it felt like 5 seconds where it felt so long on the setup to that breakaway. And he kicks that puck out, and it was like I knew we were going to win, but as it's happening, I'm like, all right, we just, we're getting a point. It's okay. Kicks it out, and I'm like, all right, now we're rolling. And also, the opening line that Dallas started overtime with was very interesting.
Yeah, who was it again?
It was Duchesne. It was Heiskanen.
Yeah.
And I forget the third one, but I was just surprised. Like, Robo's not out there, Mikko's not out there. But then everything kind of happens.
Was it Bork?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He played in his first overtime game the other day against Vegas, I think. So.
And when Otter makes the save and then Mikko comes out, I heard a small, like, Mikko hits the ice and it's like, all right, like the crowd can sense that we kind of weathered that first storm in overtime, because overtime's horrendous for us all season. But there was the spark. Mikko gets out there and I'll let you set this up.
Yeah, that play, when you make the save right off the rip, it comes back into the blue line. You're kind of in the middle of the change. Mikko goes off. Someone else goes off. I think Wyatt Johnson. Matt Duchene comes on in between the blue lines. He grabs the puck, kind of does a little bounce off of, because he looks like he's going to head back in towards the defensive zone. He stays where he's at. He bounces the puck off of the boards to himself, keeps the puck inbound, and gets it onside as Maverick Bork comes off the ice. Thomas Harley then comes onto the ice off of the bench and just does the streak thing that Nils Lundqvist did earlier in the game, except for this is 3-on-3 in overtime, so there's a lot more space. It's a lot more wide open. Matt Duchene just puts a little sauce pass on it. Thomas Harley able to control it. Forehand, backhand, deke, just top shelf on Hellebuyck. Hellebuyck immediately loses his mind. I don't know if you were able to see that from where you were at. Earlier in the period, there was a point, I think it was Miro. Miro shot one right onto Hellebuyck's face, right on the mask. A strap kind of undid, which usually when that happens, they blow the play dead so the goalie can fix the strap and put the mask back on. They didn't catch it, and Hellebuyck's like screaming, furious that goal was allowed because his strap was undone the whole time. However, there was a whole breakaway and another sequence in the blue line where you could have just been like, hey, ref, it's fucked. What are we doing here? And the other thing I noticed is, like, when goalies are trying to do a desperation thing, and they obviously try to get really big, but they always fall forward trying to catch it with a blocker or a goal with the glove. It's the funniest thing ever when it does not work, because they're just falling flat on their face. And there's a goal and there's a celebration from Thomas Harley, future Norris winner, by the way. Thomas Harley, he's coming back. He's back. But great goal. 5th goal of the season for Thomas Harley. 2 apples from Matt Duchene. 9 on the season. Miro Heiskanen gets his 37th assist of the season. Just an overall really fun game, and you had an incredible seat for it.
Yeah, we were on the other side of the ice for this, and so Winnipeg is kind of exiting the ice on our side. The entire way down the ice, Hellebuyck is bitching at this ref, and nobody knew, because it was kind of chaos kind of ensued in front of the net after the goal. So we're assuming that it was like some kind of goalie interference. And we're like, we have to watch that replay because he's livid. Like, I even took a video of it. Like, he was giving it to the ref. And no, it was just, I don't know how that, because I've never played goal, so I don't know how that would affect you, but you're right. Like, he had plenty of time to kind of fix it. And even that, like, he played the play. So I don't know what the excuse is there, but Thomas Harley, man, in the first period, he had like 4 block shots. We had like 10 block shots in the first period.
A lot. Yeah.
There was a lady behind me in a Stars jersey that was chirping Thomas Harley all night. And I looked at my brother. I'm like, are we watching the same game? Like, Thomas Harley is playing really good hockey. Like, I don't get this. And she's just like, play up to that contract, Thomas. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, defensively, he is locked down right now. He's getting the puck out of the zone. Like, he's handling the puck in the offensive zone well. Like, this is the Thomas Harley I know. And then he scores the overtime winner. And I look back at her, and she's like happy, but also upset at the same time, because she's like, I look like an idiot now because Thomas Harley saved the day, and I've been chirping him the whole game. Like, I can guarantee you he's going to be a problem for Team Canada. And this is a great time to see him back to form, because I was worried for a little bit. We were both kind of like, man, he just got this contract. He got injured really early. Doesn't seem right. But now we have that Norris candidate back.
Yeah, and he came in, and I think he was already a little bit banged up at the beginning of the regular season. He obviously get the contract. Then he gets sick, misses a few games with an illness, and then he comes back, and he's still pretty sick. He's not all the way done. And then he gets hurt. And then he plays hurt for 3 weeks. And you're like, golly, what's wrong with Harles? And you're like, I hope he's just hurt at the end of the day because he didn't look good. And then he comes back and you're like, still not look. It was rusty. You know, it wasn't the normal Thomas Harley. It was a lot like what we saw in the beginning of the season. You're like, what's up? What's up with this guy? You know, because I know he puts in the work. I know he's doing all the right things. It's just like, what's off? And then the last, I think, 3 weeks or so, obviously towards the tail end of being bad, that whole month of stretch where the Stars were bad, Thomas Harley was getting pretty good. And then since then, he's been, I think, not exceptional necessarily, but really, really, really good. And the best thing about that is that Matt Duchene is doing the same thing over the last 2 weeks. He was on a 5-game goal streak coming into this game. He doesn't get a goal, but he gets 2 apples there, 2 points. So still a really good game for Matt Duchene. Getting those 2 guys back to pretty close to what they were last season over the last 2-3 weeks is a massive help for the Stars. And it can't be unseen that, yeah, I made a fire sacrifice, sure. But those 2 guys coming back on is a huge reason why the Stars are 6-1 in their last 7 games.
Dude, that second line, man, it's really buzzing right now, isn't it?
Second line, third line, whatever line. Like that third line of Matt Duchene, Jamie Benn, and Sam Steele is really fun, dude. Jamie Benn has juice. The one, I think it was in the first period, Jamie Benn kind of skated in and did like a weird deke move at the edge of the goal on the post, like right where you were.
Yeah.
I was like, we don't see flair from Jamie Benn ever. And he was throwing some flair. He was just kind of a little cocky around there. Jamie Benn, young Jamie Benn.
That line of Jamie and Dutchie, it felt like they won every puck battle all night long. Like that was the difference in pressing Winnipeg, because both teams did not want to have a defensive lapse, but we were winning. It felt like every single puck battle. I mean, even when we lost it, we got back into really good position. And the story of this kind of hot streak we're on starts with Ritzkovian and these guys that just do what they need to do. They get greasy, they get aggressive, and we get Big Bischel back. Good things are going to happen.
Yeah, you're doing this without 2 of your 6 best defensemen. No Lyubushkin and no Liam Bischel is when you started really winning. Like Lyubushkin played a few games, I think, at the beginning of the streak, and then he hasn't played in a while now, over a week, I think. And then Liam Bischel hasn't played since sometime in December. Like we're talking early December. It's been a while since Liam Bischel. And we may or may not get him back before the Olympic break. Obviously, Wednesday we have the Blues game. I'm going to put this out tonight. I'm going to put it out a little bit earlier. We're going to keep pushing it on Wednesday. So no new Wednesday episode. This is our Wednesday episode. Just want to make sure everybody can watch it and tune into it before the game tomorrow. So, yeah, you get those 2 guys back, and then you make I've seen some Panarin buzz on the timeline. That means absolutely nothing unless it comes from the Stars directly or Elliot Friedman. But it's pretty nice to us to stare at it because we're both NBA fans too. And the NBA just started doing crazy shit over the last hour or 2. So like I'm getting antsy for NHL shit. But the roster freeze goes into effect as you're listening to this Wednesday night at 11:59 p.m. There will be no trades, no free agent acquisitions, no sending up, no sending down to the AHL until after the Olympics is over and you're coming back from that break. So if no deal gets done by midnight tomorrow night, Wednesday night, there isn't going to be shit until after the Olympic break. So don't panic. Don't be weary about it during the Olympic break if nothing happens.
What I'm getting from this Twitter mental gymnastics right now is that other fans are terrified that Dallas is going to make a big move. Now, you can define big move in different ways, but I think other organizations are worried that Dallas can empty the clip or just make a mid-level move because their depth is so good. So if that excites me as a Stars fan, and I can tell you, like Jim Nill and the boys, they're going to cook up something.
Yeah, there's going to be something that happens. Obviously, they want to make sure Tyler Seguin can't play the rest of the season. They want to make sure that he's out for the playoffs because that opens up the full $9.8 million of cap hit as opposed to just 3.5, 3.6, 3.8, somewhere in there, $1 million that they could use for the trade deadline. Obviously, if you're going to go get the Panarin type of deal, you're getting that puppy pot down, retention-wise, down to 50%. So you're not paying his full 10 or 12, whatever it is. Like you're paying half of that. But I wouldn't be worried about it. Obviously, you're 6-1 in your last 7. And the main objective now is to beat the Blues on a Wednesday night. It's a late game. It's a TNT game on HBO and TNT. So you won't find it on Victory Plus. Shout out to Victory Plus. Go sign up for them if you haven't. But it's the last game before the break. So TNT, HBO against the Blues, who you've already just beat twice in back-to-back games with back-to-back buzzer beaters. Let's make it a little less hairy here. Let's just take control of the game and get out with it. I'd love a goal. I'd love a 2-goal win, 3-goal win, something comfortable. We haven't had a comfortable one since the Bruins, the day of the fire sacrifice. So
I would just love an empty netter because we're the only team that like has a good record, and we have less than 10 empty netters on the season.
That's crazy.
So, like we could use one. Maybe Rupe, maybe Mav. Just let's get out early. Let's stay physical and let's cruise to a lead and hold it.
Yeah, I think the things you look for are physicality. Obviously, the Blues absolutely hammered you in the second game, I believe, maybe the first game against them over the last week and a half. They destroyed you on the hits. It was 40-something to maybe 10, 12, something like that. It was something crazy. Blues were out hitting you by a bajillion miles. Throw Adam Ernie back in there. Let him go create some chaos in that first period. Even if Liam Bischel's not back, I'm not going to be concerned if he's not back. They want him to be 100%. When he does come back, the physicality will be there after the break if it doesn't show up for the last game before the break. I'm not worried about it. Be physical. Go to the hard areas. Create some chaos. And we'll just move on. A little 6-game win streak. A little 7-1 since the fire sacrifice heading into the Olympic break. What could be better than that?
It's what we wanted. I mean, we went through a pretty dry spell, and to see these guys playing like this, we were hoping for it, and those hopes and sacrifices were made to see the fruits of our labor.
And also big news, Dom. I know you've got the Finnish flag in the background. You got the Finnish flag on your cowboy hat here. It's a good look. It looks great. I don't have any Finnish gear. I'm rocking with the US of A, baby. It's 250th birthday this year. I got 2 USA hats that came in yesterday.
Let's go.
I got a wool vintage one from the 1932 Tokyo Games. That logo with a wool hat. That's pretty sick. Strap back. And I also got a World Baseball Classic USA hat that I never had one before. I don't really like that USA logo, but we got World Baseball Classic this year. It's the 4th of July. It's going to be 250th year of America. I had to do it. Got the two-tone, got a cream and a navy blue, and then I got that navy blue wool US hat. So we'll be debuting that probably on our next episode, one of those hats, because got a haircut today, and I didn't want to get my hat dirty with a bunch of like stray hairs that haven't been cleaned out yet because I haven't showered since I got my haircut.
Yeah, the Olympics is going to be so fun. That Netflix documentary about the Miracle on Ice. It's next. It will be watched by tonight. I have some time to cool off from this unbelievable Stars win. But I'm getting the itch. I'm getting the itch for Olympic hockey.
You learn a lot more than you think. Because it's all the guys that were on the team. They're all talking about, they're all interviewed, and they're talking about their all experience throughout just the Olympics, through making the team, talking about Herb Brooks. Like, they're talking about everything. It's a really good documentary. It's Miracle on Netflix. It's a new documentary. It's about an hour and a half, hour and 45. It's a pretty easy watch if you're a hockey fan. And heading into the Olympics, it's must watch. It's something you got to check off before the Olympics start here in like 2 days. I think opening ceremony is on the 5th, I believe.
Wow.
Crazy. And the women, I think, kick off their Olympic journey on the hockey side on the 5th as well, which is crazy.
You and me both love the Masters. Being in high school, watching the Masters, like during class, it's going to have the same vibe of like, I'll take my lunch break and I'm watching Olympic hockey.
Yeah. I will say, tune into Clean Sheet Devices Twitter and Instagram and everything. I want to probably announce everything through there when we're going to be live streaming during a US game. We're going to make sure that we try to get in that first US game, depending on scheduling with Apollo and our software that we have to use. We can only use one at a time, one show at a time. So we'll be live streaming during either some of the US games, some of the Finnish games. And then once we get to the knockout rounds, if the US or Finland are in it, we'll probably be watching along. So we'll do some pucks and coffee. Shout out to Gus for the graphic. We're going to be using that because the games are going to be at like 8 a.m. to start. I think the first 3 games for the U.S. are at 8 a.m. So grab some coffee, come hang out, grab a cup of coffee, turn on the game, come hang out with us. I think it's going to be really fun. We're going to definitely live stream. I think it's next Thursday that the U.S. play. That's their first game, I believe. So let's just plan on that. We'll update you on our socials at Clean Sheet Device. Hit that follow button. We got a bunch of followers yesterday on Twitter. Had a big night, a lot of views, a lot of retweets, all that kind of stuff. Great game for it. Miko Rantanen did it for us. So shout out to Miko for the views and the follows. But follow them so we can kind of update you on our schedule once we head into the Olympic break.
It's gonna be fun. You're gonna want to stay with us. It's gonna be fun.
going to be a blast. We're over 200 subscribers now, 205, I believe, at the time of recording this. We want to give away this Miko Rantanen bobblehead. Moose, after that goal last night, you have to hit the subscribe button. That's kind of the rule. After you see that, you got to hit subscribe on Clean Sheet of Ice so you won't get more content. Obviously, I tweeted out yesterday that we were going to watch that for 45 minutes straight and just watch it on loop for 45 minutes straight as the podcast. But I think this was a little bit better, maybe a little bit more enjoyable for the people in the car that are listening to us and not watching us on our YouTube at Clean Sheet of Ice. Hit that subscribe button. We want to give that away at 250 subscribers. And we'll be back. We will be back on Friday with another episode. Savannah will be out west. She's going to be doing some stuff out there with a big golf tournament. If you're a golf fan, Waste Management, she'll be out there. But I think she'll still be on for Friday's episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, and we'll do a little bit more Olympic talk. We'll talk about the Blues game, obviously, on Wednesday. But yeah, last night was fun, Don. You got anything else before we get out of here?
Man, we don't really need these 2 points, but if we do get them, like I want to say Colorado lost last night. I think, God, every time we win, Minnesota just continues to win. It's like last year when we could not make any movement on Winnipeg. Yeah. It's just that's the type of season it's going to be with Minnesota. We're going to play them in the first round, most likely. But just keep doing your thing, Dallas, because it's working.
6 points back of Colorado, 1 point back of Minnesota. Colorado has 2 games in hand, so that's the big thumper there. But you got a game in hand on the Wild. We're on a 5-game win streak. They're on a 4-game win streak.
Just let one counterpunch after another with these two teams.
Do you see that Brock Faber goal last night to tie it late in the third for the Wild?
Oh, I was pissed.
Just disgusting. Like it was a collision at the blue line, and the puck perfectly went to a streaking, just incredibly fast Brock Faber, and he just sent it 5-hole on Montemblad, I think, for the Canadians. But sick goal. The Wild are fun. I hate to admit it, they're pretty fun.
I'm a known Brock Faber hater. But last year's Four Nations, I gave him a lot of respect, and I think this year he's going to have another great international competition.
Did he make the team?
I'd be surprised if he didn't.
There's one Wild guy that didn't make it, I don't think. He made it. Who's the other Wild kid that's younger that made it last year that didn't make it this year? Forward. I don't remember what his name is. Brock Faber's sick, though.
Yeah, he's a lot better than I want to give him credit for.
Yeah. Adding Quinn Hughes was kind of a plus. Quinn Hughes has tied Ryan Suter for the most 3-assist games by a defenseman in Wild history. Ryan Suter played 652 games, I think, for the Wild.
That's nuts.
Quinn showed up like 3 minutes ago.
Ryan Suter was a beast, too. I used to watch him
so
in minors in Houston.
Stars legend. People forget. He played one good season, and it was his last. So that's unfortunate that you paid the other 3 seasons. But that'll do it for Clean Sheet of Ice. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on our audio platforms like Apple and Spotify as well. We got video there, too. We enjoy having the video up on Spotify. We get more streams that way. It's more fun. I think it's more fun for the viewer. You can interact with us there, like it, follow it, subscribe to it, all the things. Rate it 5 stars. We'd love to see that. Hit a comment on this YouTube. I don't know what you want to comment. Just comment something about the Olympics. Give us your hottest Olympic takes in the comments on our YouTube. Give us a like and hit the subscribe button, and we'll be back on Friday with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast.